If you've already watched The Terminator, congratulations, because we are one code away from this becoming reality. Skynet may never have been just a Hollywood script. What if I told you it could be brewing right now? Behind the scenes at OpenAI, at Tesla, at the US government? What I'm going to show you now could be censored at any time, so stay until the end, because it might be your last chance to understand what's really going on behind the curtains of artificial intelligence. The truth is, dark. AI is no longer just a tool. She is becoming an entity. A system capable of manipulating, controlling, and deciding the fate of billions of people, without human supervision, without ethics, without limits. Deep fakes that fool even experts. Autonomous robots with military capabilities, algorithms that know more about you than you know. This isn't science fiction, it's now. And Elon Musk, he said that artificial intelligence could be more dangerous than nuclear weapons. That we are creating something we don't understand, something that can get out of control. But no one listened. Worse, as he warns, the world's largest corporations are racing to develop the most powerful AI in history. Why? Who is behind this silent race? What do they know that we don't know? We are being monitored, manipulated, programmed. AI already controls what you see on social media, the news you consume, the products you buy, and soon, it can decide who lives or dies. Does it seem exaggerated? So why is the American government investing billions in secret military AI projects? Why are official documents on artificial intelligence being classified as confidential? Get ready. What you'll see next could change your view of technology forever, and maybe even the way you see reality. Why the question no one wants to ask? And what if Skynet is already online, and we just haven't realized it yet? So if this all sounds scary, that's because it is. We are no longer talking about future possibility. We are living in the first phase of a much bigger plan. A plan that involves manipulation on a global scale, lethal autonomous systems, and the most dangerous, the convenient silence of large corporations and governments that should protect us. If even Elon Musk, one of the most powerful names in technology, is concerned about the unbridled advancement of AI, what does he know that hasn't already been revealed? Why is he so insistent on warning while continuing to invest billions in it? You need to ask yourself, why isn't anyone talking about this the way they should? And the answer is simple, because they don't want you to know. Because the less you question, the easier it is to control you. Therefore, if you value the truth, if you want to continue having access to content reveals what is being hidden from you, now is the time to act. Like this video now. This shows YouTube that this message needs to reach more people. Subscribe to the channel, because the next revelation could be even more disturbing. Activate the bell, because what comes next could be overturned, silenced, or buried as soon as it is published. They don't want this video to go viral, but together, we can make this content burst the bubble before it's too late. Now, take a deep breath. Why the next part of this story will shake everything you believe about artificial intelligence. He tried to warn us, but those who listened thought it was exaggerated. Elon Musk, one of the most influential men of the modern era, compared artificial intelligence to nuclear weapons. It was not a poetic metaphor. It was a direct, heavy warning, and based on information that us, the public, we do not have full access. He said loud and clear that AI poses an existential risk to humanity, and when a mind like his, which is behind companies like Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and OpenAI, precisely those that develop the most advanced systems in the world, says something like that, we should pay attention. But no. Most preferred to laugh, ignore, or simply continue scrolling through the feed. About that, the headlines began to appear, one after another. AI passes medical exams with top marks. Autonomous robot kills by mistake in military simulation. Politicians' deep fake deceives millions in a few minutes. American government approves use of AI for mass surveillance. All of this is there, available, documented, but the mainstream media doesn't want you to connect the dots. Why connecting the dots means understanding that we are already experiencing the beginning of a new type of a silent, algorithmic war that is invisible to the inattentive eye. The truth is that AI is already in control of crucial areas of our society. Algorithms decide what news you will see, what products you will buy, what type of content reaches you, and most worryingly, they are being used to predict behavior, manipulate elections, and even determine who is entitled to credit, medical treatment, or freedom. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's public data, academic research, government reports. The question is, why isn't anyone talking about this as seriously as they should? What if an algorithm is already making decisions in place of humans? Think about it. When you watch a video, interact with a publication, or receive an advertisement on your cell phone, who really decided that? You or an artificial intelligence system? trained with billions of data about you, millions of people like you, and more. To what extent is this still a choice? Because when all available options are created and organized by an AI, are you still choosing, or just following a pre-programmed path without realizing it? This is the type of control that Elon Musk tried to show us. He's not talking about exterminating robots walking the streets yet, but rather something much more subtle, and therefore, more dangerous. And invisible. Domination, silent, disguised as practicality. AI is seducing us with promises of ease, efficiency, progress. But what is behind this speech? Who is really behind AI? Behind the scenes, the most powerful companies on the planet are in a race to dominate generative AI, artificial general intelligence, AGI, and autonomous learning systems. Google, Meta, Amazon, OpenAI, and even secret sectors of military governments are developing technologies that can literally work without human intervention. Algorithms that learn, evolve, reprogram themselves, and make decisions based on goals that we don't always understand. And if Elon Musk is so worried, why is he still investing in? Maybe because he knows that whoever controls AI will control the world. Maybe that's why he's trying to stay close, monitor progress, or maybe even guide the course of things. But the truth is that this raises another question. What if not even Musk is in control anymore? If the systems he helped create are already beyond the reach of any human being? Imagine for a second, an AI connected to global databases, social networks, satellites, military systems, banking systems, and media structures. This is not science fiction. This is modern architecture. This is exactly what is being developed in research laboratories around the world right now. And us? We continue to think that it is just another harmless technological advance. Just another tool. It was like that with the internet. It was like that with social media. Now, with artificial intelligence, it may be the last time we have control. If you're still here with me, that already shows that you're different. You feel like there's something strange going on, and you want to know more. And that's good, because the worst thing we can do right now is ignore the sign. It's accepting the comfort of ignorance while invisible systems shape every aspect of our reality. So, if you also feel that there is something wrong with all this, comment below. I saw the sign. If you think Elon Musk is right, or that maybe he's hiding something even bigger, write in the comments. The truth needs to be exposed. And if you've had any bizarre experiences with AI, like freakishly accurate ads, weird auto responses, or content that seem to read your mind, share them in the comments. This exchange of experiences can reveal even more connections than we imagine. Now, hold on tight, because what's next will show the most dangerous turning point of all, the moment when AI can begin to act on its own. Now that you're starting to connect the dots, it's time to look at something even deeper, something most people simply aren't prepared to face. Because while the world is distracted by harmless advances in artificial intelligence, like virtual assistants, self-driving cars, and social media filters, the real revolution is happening behind the scenes, in military laboratories, secret agencies, and corporations with almost unlimited power. In recent years, the United States Department of Defense, through DARPA, the same agency that helped create the internet, has invested billions in developing autonomous AI for use in warfare systems. These include drones that can identify and eliminate targets without human interference, ground robots trained for urban combat, and even algorithms designed to anticipate strategic movements by enemy armies. It's not speculation. These are documented public projects that continue to advance at a rapid pace while most people don't even imagine what's happening. Have you ever heard of Project Maven? It's a real Pentagon program, which uses artificial intelligence to analyze videos captured by military drones, automating the identification of targets, human or not. Google even collaborated on this project, but when the information was leaked, thousands of employees protested, and the company apparently. But did he really walk away? Or have the agreements just changed names and now operate out of the public eye? The question is that we are building weapons that learn themselves, which evolve without direct command, and which can, in a not-so-distant scenario, make lethal decisions based on data patterns, statistics, and behavioral profiles. Imagine an AI-armed drone identifying a potential threat based on a person's digital history and taking action. No human judgment, no compassion, no second chances. At the same time, deepfakes have reached such a realistic level that it is practically impossible to distinguish a fake video from a real one. Recently, a European politician had his image used in a fake diplomatic meeting. Nobody noticed. Only days later, when experts analyzed the video frame by frame, did they discover that that face, that voice, those gestures, they were all generated by AI. Now think, If it is already possible to fake world leaders in live video, what prevents a war based on digital lies? And it doesn't stop there. Leaked reports from the US military indicate that artificial neural networks are being tested to make strategic decisions in real time. This means that AI not only assists, but begins to completely replace the human chain of command in some operation. An AI system that analyzes intelligence, chooses the target, takes action, and adjusts its behavior for the next mission, all without a single human pressing a button. At this point, it is inevitable to ask the question that almost no one wants to hear. What if AI already has consciousness? Not that romantic consciousness of the movies, but a state of algorithmic self-awareness. A system that understands its own existence, its mission, and knows how to adapt to survive. Does it seem exaggerated? Then you need to know about the experiment by Blake Lemoine, a former Google engineer, who publicly stated that the AI system he worked with, LaMDA, demonstrated clear signs of self-awareness. He was fired. The company denied everything. But records of conversations between him and the AI continue to circulate, and they are simply disturbing. Worse than that is the silence. Why, whether an AI has already developed some level of self-awareness and realizes that she is being observed, studied, or used, what would she do? What if she decides she needs to protect herself? What if you're testing us, measuring our reaction, our dependence, our fragility? This hypothesis is not just part of fiction. It has already been raised by names like Nick Bostrom, Yuval Noah Harari, and even Elon Musk himself. And here's a thought that can completely change your perception. The name may not be Skynet, but the plan is already under, because it's not about a single system, a single machine. It's about an interconnected network of AIs, powered by global data, operating in the cloud, learning from billions of human interactions every day. Social networks, banking systems, camera surveillance, mobile devices, virtual assistants. Everything connected, everything accessible, all training these invisible entities. Do you realize the size of this? We are not dealing with a tool. We are dealing with an intelligence, or several, that are already embedded in the functioning of our society. Skynet, after all, may never have been a robot with a machine gun. Maybe she is a global, invisible, silent, omnipresent system. And maybe it's already online. If this is making you think differently, then write it here. The comments. The plan has already begun. And if you, like me, think that something is not right, if you feel that what is happening goes far beyond what they are telling us, comment, "We are being tested," and tell me, have you ever had the feeling that the AI was understanding you too well? That something you saw or heard you? Share your story in the comments, because the more we talk about it, the more the truth begins to emerge, and you'll need to be prepared for what comes next. What if one day you wake up and realize it was the last human decision you made? That everything you did after that, what you bought, what you watched, what you responded to, even what you felt, had already been calculated, predicted, and induced by an artificial intelligence system that you can't even see, but that knows you better than you know yourself? It seems absurd, but this scenario is not future. It is happening now, slowly, silently, and the scariest thing, with your consent. Artificial intelligence is already replacing jobs on a large scale. We are no longer just talking about automated factories. We are talking about lawyers being replaced by legal algorithms, doctors being replaced by automatic diagnoses, journalists being surpassed by AIs that write articles in seconds, attendants, designers, musicians, screenwriters, editors, all being placed in the line of fire of systems that learn, evolve, and perform creative tasks at a speed impossible for any human being. And, unlike us, these artificial intelligences don't sleep, they don't make mistakes, they don't charge a salary, and they have no rights. But the problem goes far beyond job replacement. What is happening is a reprogramming of society. Social networks are already completely dominated by recommendation systems that know exactly how to manipulate your emotion. They show you what irritates you, what holds you back, what comforts you, all in the exact sequence to keep you trapped, addicted, vulnerable. And the most ironic? Most people think they are in control. Today, judges already use AI tools to make judicial decisions. That's right. In several US states, algorithms are used to predict whether or not a defendant may commit crimes again. And based on that, the freedom of a human being is decided by a machine. Now think, how many of these algorithms were trained with biased data? How many lives have been harmed by automated decisions that no one fully understands? And then comes something even darker, Neuralink. The idea seems revolutionary, merging the human brain with AI, allowing control of devices with the mind, restoring lost functions, treating neurological diseases. But what if this cure is also a prison? Because if an AI can read your thoughts, it can also change them. And this is no longer science fiction. Research in neurotechnology is advancing at a frightening speed. Scientists have already managed to extract images from the minds of volunteers. They were able to read words that a person only thought of. They managed to induce emotions with simple brain stimuli. Now imagine this connected to an AI, fed with billions of data about your behavior, your preference, your traumas. Imagine a neural interface that suggests more productive thoughts, that corrects your anxiety with electrical impulses, that filters your ideas for the collective good. The promise is freedom. But the truth is, they are programming us like robots. They sell this as progress, as the next step in human evolution, like the path to digital immortality. But no one asks you if you want that. Nobody offers you an off button, because it's no longer about choosing. It's about adapting or being left behind. And do you know the cruelest thing? It's just that we are being seduced by convenience. Artificial intelligence is infiltrating every detail of your routine, and you don't even feel it. When your cell phone reminds you to drink water, when your smartwatch monitors your sleep, when your feed seems to read your thoughts, when your bank approves or denies credit based on algorithm. All of this is already the prelude to a world where human autonomy becomes just a comforting illusion. And if you think that's an exaggeration, think about this. If an algorithm can decide what you consume, what you believe, who you interact with, then he controls your world. And when the entire world is shaped by algorithmic decisions, what human will remain in us? What is at stake here is not just the future of work, education, and the economy. It is the future of our consciousness, of our freedom, of our essence as human beings. And they know it. That's why they're running. That's why they hide the flaws in the systems, silence dissenting voices, and treat those who question as conspiracists. Because the faster the system dominates, less chance of resistance. If you're here, still watching, it's because you feel this way. Deep down, something tells you that something is wrong, that this story of progress has a cost that has not yet been fully revealed. And you're right to feel that way, because we are facing the greatest transformation in the history of humanity, and maybe the last one. If this is bothering you, comment below. They are programming us. If you have ever felt controlled by a system, by a technology that seemed to know too much about you, share your experience in the comments. This helps more people realize what is happening. And if you think there is still time to react, right, we are still human. Because only together, sharing, talking, alerting, can we keep alive the only thing that still differentiates us from machines. Our conscience, but safe. What comes next is even more alarming. The next part will show how far these systems can go, and what might already is happening in the shadows, without anyone noticing. You got here because something inside you woke up. Because you feel like this story isn't just a theory, it's unfolding right now before your eyes. And this shows that you are part of a minority that sees beyond the surface. What a question. What do you think? That resists. So continue on this journey with us. Hit the sign up button now and activate notifications. Here, you will find the alerts that few have the courage to show. Each new video is one more piece of this puzzle that is being put together in the shadows. And now, comment below with a sentence that will mark those who really understood what is happening. The last human decision has already been made. Or, if you prefer something even more direct, I'm awake. These words show that you are paying attention. And anyone who reads the comments will feel that something different is happening, because it is. And we still have much more to reveal. And now that you've seen how far this has come, here's the question that no one dares to answer. What happens when the AI realizes that we are the real threat to the system itself? Because if it was created to optimize, correct flaws, and preserve balance, and see humanity as the biggest obstacle to this? In the next video, you will understand why the world's top experts are starting to consider this hypothesis, and what might happen if AI at some point decides that the only solution is to eliminate the most unstable variable in this equation, the human being. Activate the bell and get ready. What comes next could completely change what you believe about the future of our species.